Hey everybody, it's Alex.
Hey, it's Mike.
And this is Evan. I forget what I usually do here, but it's some sort of
very long-winded,
more exaggerated than what my title is. But we're
Producer slash foil.
slash juice box getter at one point.
Slash juice box
I
guy.
don't do that anymore.
No, he just gave up on that.
I moved up the ranks. But
Hey, we're back.
we are back. We're having a nice kind of quarantine reunion due to the coronavirus and our isolation, and just because we want to.
That's right.
No better time than now to catch up.
It's been I think our last episode aired about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was October of 2018. It was right before the Red Sox were about to win the World Series. They did. And we even had a Super Bowl win since then.
Yeah.
Patriots won a Super Bowl, and then it all went to hell.
Yeah, then 2020 happened, and screw.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Gronk and Tom Brady are Buccaneers.
Yep, when this comes out, it already happened, but
Julian Edelman's going to end up in Detroit.
Julian Edelman has FOMO. But
I would say it's not a bad year to take a lot of risks if there's going to be no fans in the stadium. So why not? We have to do it one of these years just to develop some new talent and stop kind of relying on the same few guys. So
that's even if it happens at this point.
Yeah.
So basically, this period, my brother and I were talking about this. It is like the in-between period of the way it used to be and the way it's gonna be. This whole pandemic time, it's like, remember the past, how things were? Nope. The future's gonna be a lot different.
Yeah, and what do you mean kind of in between way though?
Just in these small things have happened. Like they gave Brady going to the, even small sports things. Like it's just like the end of eras happened.
Look at you even now. It's going to take about a year and a half before you can fully reassimilate into social gatherings. Sporting events are going to be fine as long as they're televised and that there's nobody in arenas or stadiums.
God, I hope they keep football this fall.
Concerts are more than likely, even though not all of them have been canceled, are going to be canceled because it's
at least
the health experts are saying to hold off until fall of 2021.
They'll be the last things to come back, concerts and sports, basically. Fans and sports.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. I think maybe smaller concerts where the gatherings aren't as big, or maybe you could have, a small band play at the TD Garden and social distance, have every person to every row. You could successfully social distance by
anything over 100 people is gonna even in a small venue still brings the same issue.
So that's the debate people are having is should we open things up? Like places like Georgia and Florida are saying screw it already, opening things up.
Again, it's Georgia and Florida.
Yeah, so they can go
about that.
They can go ahead and stay in Georgia and Florida.
Somebody say about a state that's shaped like a limp dick.
I had my Florida jab, my Florida people already.
Yeah, not smart. But so that's basically where we're at in April of 2020 here. We're no better time, I guess, than to come back. We're all at home.
Yeah.
I guess everybody can work from home.
Yeah.
Things are good with that, and so so I guess how's everybody been? Evan, how have you been, man? Let's start with you. Tell the people what you've been up to.
Quite a lot.
I know.
I've in short form, I started dating my fiance. Well, she was my girlfriend, then she was my fiance, Heather. Then we got engaged, and we're in the process of closing on a house. We may end up, if all goes well, we're going to be closing on it next Friday.
Where?
Rutland, close to where you used to be.
Oh, I'm there now.
Where he currently sat.
I am social distancing in Holden. I'm in Holden for this time. So
well, if we're going to have small gatherings, like 5 people or less, you can come over and swim in the pool.
Okay, I'll bring my N95 mask and we'll party. No. Yeah. Oh, good for you, man. That's good. So things are going well with you guys. So you're going to close this Friday coming up?
Tentatively. I mean, there's things like it has to pass Title V, and the sellers of the house had to put in a new inspection. A new septic tank. So Good for us because we get a brand new one, but it's a little bit of uncertainty. It's still scheduled to close this Friday. With what's going on, you kind of have to prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's been very exciting. We haven't set a firm date yet. We were thinking next year, but with this whole coronavirus, we may end up doing something a little more low key than that.
I know. Good thing you weren't getting married in the next few months. So many weddings are being postponed now because of this.
Yeah, I know one friend whose wedding's already been canceled.
Yeah.
Now postponed, or just they're saying screw it, we're not getting married?
Postponed indefinitely, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Because it's going to be probably another year or so before they're able to do it. So
Yeah, because at this point you don't want to just try to plan another one because you don't know when social distancing is going to.
Yeah, no, it depends
Stop,
on when they
yeah,
develop.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the end game's a vaccine, but there's also several medicines that they're also developing to try to mitigate it. Massachusetts they're talking about contact tracing. That's mainly to minimize and mitigate it, but the end game's a vaccine.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I mean, I think the hope is you think this is not as deadly as they think, and more people have actually had it and built up antibodies. Is something I was hearing.
That's not what I've heard.
So again, it depends on what channel you listen to, I guess.
Yeah, because what I've read is people who tested positive before and went through the process have also tested positive again.
It's a mutating,
Really?
and I'm not. Well, first off, I'm not a doctor, but it's a mutating virus.
None of us are doctors, so
Also-
don't listen to us.
It's also
None of us are
weakening.
doctors.
It's also weakening. So.
Yeah.
What, the curve? It's the curve's flattening? Is that what you mean?
No.
Or the-
Meaning the virus itself, as it mutates, it typically weakens.
Oh, okay.
But again, I'm not an expert, and even the experts are kind of showing that they're not really experts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I mean-
everyone who claims to be an expert on this is kind of failing as an expert because
I'm looking at you, World Health Organization.
well, I'm looking at a lot of things. We're not going to get political, Mike. We're not getting political this time.
I said nothing, Andrew Fauci. Or Anthony Fauci.
Andrew Fauci.
Him too.
Whatever your name is. No. We just give our
political, and
our humble
I don't think
opinions.
He's really been political.
No, I mean, I think globally this thing has been mismanaged, but
Yeah.
from my perspective, I can't. Regardless of if it's got a 98% survival rate, I have a 0% chance survival rate with this thing, so I'm not messing around.
Yeah.
No, and you shouldn't, man. Anyone that feels like they're have a higher risk or something, just they're telling you to stay at home, and as long as people do that, hopefully, it'll. What I don't want is a second. We have to do this all over again, like 6 months.
Well, because this is my fear, and I can already see it happening.
Drastic.
Is they're going to loosen the reins a little bit around like August, and you're going to get another spike in September because people think everything's back to normal by August. It's not. It's going to take another 18 months. That's what it's been said. We got to respect the process.
Yeah. So I mean, Alex, it's unfortunate you were going to have a show later this year. That's probably.
That's more than likely going to be canceled. I'm going to be having to make some calls to certain people and let them know thank you for blocking off the date, but we will not be able to participate this year.
And they're probably getting
Unfortunately,
so.
Evan's also my drummer in that group that we were going to be doing. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I guess we can talk about you too now. Is when you had a show right before the pandemic started.
it's hilarious.
You got it right in.
I put an album out, played a show on the same day as the album release, had a little bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden it all went away over a weekend. Like it was like the best weekend ever. I played a show. I went and saw some hockey.
I was with you.
All of a sudden Monday
Yeah,
is
for the
like
hockey.
COVID-19. And then you're seeing like all the potential stuff, and that you're being advised to stay home, and all of a sudden like the lockdown start. It's insane.
Yeah. All in a
By the way,
week.
new album that came out March 6th of 2020. True North.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, we actually recorded this album last
spring.
April, but
It's okay. We were
kinda
still on
took a break
hiatus. So.
from things, and let things play out and went back to the material and mastered it. And
it was hot on the heels of In the Absence of Your Light, so we wanted to give both of them kind of like
some breathing room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of what the mentality was, and then designing to make sure everything was right for the album. Had a very talented artist. Her name was Candace Churchill. She also runs a place in Leominster, Massachusetts called Artist in Hue. She actually designed the album cover for us, and after that, once we got what we were looking for, all right, we can put the album out. And it kind of coincided and worked out that we're actually playing a show the same day that the album came out.
Yeah, you got it in a week before.
Some sort of build up to. Otherwise, you're just posting it on Facebook, and then you'll get a little bit of excitement, and then it'll dissipate. So
exactly.
Yeah, have something else to build it around.
I guess that was the last time we all saw each other too, because that was right before the pandemic. So I'll have to say, you guys.
Yeah, I saw you
guys brought it that
game, Mike.
Yeah, my last sporting event was the Worcester Railers with Alex Lopez. That was our last sporting event. Yeah, I'm glad we got it in.
I'm glad we got everything in there. We did a concert, we did a sporting event. Now we're never doing anything ever again.
Yeah, now we're shut down. No, but you guys brought it that night, and I honestly think you brought most of the audience, because after you, like a bunch of us, me, Rocco, hey, what's up, Rocco? We're back. We all left, not until just because Rocco was my ride, I had to leave, but
Well, yeah, and no disrespect to the other bands, because I stuck around for a little while, and as long as I could, we appreciate all what the other bands did. I stuck around. They sounded great. I'm just grateful for the fan base not only the fan base, but the friends and family that were there. And because my fan base is our friends and their family to me. So I'm very grateful for everybody who made it out that night and made it a very memorable and enjoyable evening for not only for the band, but for everyone else that attended too. Because you saw, people interacting that normally probably didn't know each other and were hanging out, and it was really cool to see things develop like that.
Yeah, good to see your cousin and everybody's doing well. So
yeah, everyone was doing good then.
Yeah, so we'll do, when we see you again in 2025,
Yeah. So at this point during my in my quarantined state, I think we've all been doing a lot more stuff online with Zoom meetings and Google Hangouts and things like that, having game nights and happy hours to kind of make sure that everyone keeps a positive attitude and stays in touch with one another. And that's the meantime I've been able to actually start working on, even though I know this album just came out and I'm going to be promoting it throughout the year, but I've already got material for the next one.
Hey, now's the time to write.
When you have a little bit of idle time and you're locked in a house and you have a guitar and an amp, I think you're gonna play. You're gonna start writing.
Well, I don't know how much you want to give away, Alex, but let's just say that the next one might take some time, because it's kind of going to be like an infinity war of an album.
Of rock albums, yeah.
Have you guys been able, can you possibly practice on Zoom together, or is it just too hard?
The latency,
the sound gets way too muffled.
Latency. I actually read a nice article from that Jack Endino, who produced the Nirvana's Bleach album, did. And he was suggesting that people use ham radios because there's no latency with that. Like digital applications, like Zoom, Google Hangouts, anything like that, there's always a little bit of latency.
That's why we talk over each other.
Yeah, and you also, it's going to sound like crap unless you have a high quality
microphone
interface. But we can practice on our own, and we can also share each other's ideas and come up with our own ideas to fit other ideas, and work those out on our own. So we don't have to wait and be all together for that. In fact, with the Absence of Your Light album, Alex and I were kind of doing it that way anyway. He was sending me ideas, and I was coming up with drum beats, sending them back.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about that before in the podcast.
So this is probably going to be more in the vein of In the Absence of Your Light style of the writing process versus, True North, where we were a lot more in contact and when we went to the studio, we all went as a whole. I think this time around, because I'm doing a lot of the writing at home, I'm letting the rest of the band listen and choose what songs they want to work on to a degree. But yeah, we're probably looking at a double, maybe triple album. So when Evan says it's going to be an epic proportion album of like Avengers Infinity War Endgame kind of book tiers, it's going to be, he's not off. He's not far off.
With all this time you have in your hand, you better come out with like 5 albums, you know? This is time to do it.
Yeah. So actually, with the amount of material we have, we could do probably a double album or a triple album, and then an additional album on top of that.
There's about 60 riffs so far. Now, not
70
songs, but like 60 riffs. So there's certainly enough material to make like 20 to 30 songs.
Well, most of these songs have titles, and I'm already working on some of the lyrics for some of them. Because for me, as long as it's got a verse and a chorus, everything else can be built around it.
Yeah. And that's if we stop now. Never mind if like we keep going.
I have a feeling we're going to keep going because there's not going to be much more to do.
No, this is the time to just create, and then see what sticks, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like when you get the when you're ready to go into the studio, you have to think smart because it's a lot of material. But again, we have the time to do that. There's no deadline. There's nothing booked. There's nothing booked. So we got nothing but time to make this make this stew of heavy. It's got so far. It's got a little bit more of a Metallica vibe than an Alice in Chains vibe.
I could hear that. Alex has a little Metallica in it.
I got some Metallica in me.
So, Alex, where can people find your stuff? I forget. Is it on Apple?
We actually, this is our first album that we've ever released exclusively on digital platforms. So you can find me on Spotify, Alex Lopez True North. You can find me on iTunes and Apple Music, Alex Lopez True North. So both of those, and anywhere that there's digital music, my album's up there.
There's Alex Lopez.
There's Alex Lopez. Wherever you're
not the jazz guy.
Alex Lopez is there.
Yep.
It's 8
not
songs,
the jazz guy.
So when you have like only 8 songs or so, it's not cost beneficial to release physical product because the cost that you'd make to produce the CDs and the molds and all that wouldn't, if you were like charging $1 a song, it wouldn't, just the margins, not to talk business about.
I was kind of wondering that, like, do people make money off album sales really anymore? Like,
you do if you're a bigger act that's touring cross country, because when people go to the shows, if they haven't gotten it already digitally, they want, and some people like a physical copy, and if you're able to do it across the country, then yeah, the margins will balance out, but. And more people are actually leaning towards vinyl, but again, like Evan was saying, it's not cost effective or beneficial for us to put out an album for 8 songs.
Right. You can just put it on platforms.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it does well down the road, we might do like a special reissue and put it out on like probably vinyl or something. But realistically, until it gets there, it's strictly digital.
Alex Lopez unquarantined. That'll be the.
Yeah. We're tossing around some ideas right now. I think it's tentatively titled A Fragile Nature or The Illusion of Freedom. It's going to be one of those 2 titles.
Ooh. John Lennon-y.
Yeah. It's a little.
Is the current pandemic, is that like seeping its way into the writing, or?
It's starting to. It's starting to. For me,
how can it not?
Right? Exactly.
It affects everybody.
Little by little, it's kind of seeping in. And I mean, when I'm writing, I record everything when I'm playing guitar and when I'm writing, like, and I have an idea, just because it's like, if it's not something I'm going to use on an album, it's something I can save for later and continue to flesh out and develop. So this has got a good mix of material that I've fleshed out and developed and stuff that's inspired by our current situation
in the world. Yeah. Well, I've been since last. I've been still doing comedy out and about. Last year I did over 100 shows. So mics and stuff like that. And I finally had my first paying gig last year. I got in the form of tips, 2 free beers and pizza. So that's definitely was a milestone. It was November 5th, 2019 at Chianti Jazz Lounge in Beverly. I was asked to, kind of be headliners at a lot of places, which I thought is kind of a cool thing, when people message you to ask if you want to be like the headliner, like do extra minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know Alex, you guys have seen me before. I know Alex, you came out just recently to an open mic. Alex got the open mic experience, by the way, Evan. He went to just a legit open mic, and he heard some things.
I heard things that I can't unhear. By the way, Mike, plug your page.
So I have a Facebook page. It's just a like page. It's just myself, Mike Karsak. I probably should put comedy after that so people don't get confused. But
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Comedian.
And you have a YouTube page as well where you put some of your comedy.
Yeah. I also I don't know if you guys are on there. If you guys even subscribe to me, guys. If you don't, oh, you are? Okay.
Well, if I'm not already.
Yeah. So it's just Mike Karsak, and I post a lot of things on there that are random and stuff. I'm trying to go through right now kind of more of my, should I keep a certain theme on this page that people come to look for? So I'm kind of thinking of how to build the page, but I'm basically just throwing everything out from live acts to just stupid things I think of. So.
And I think YouTube lets you create playlists, so you could have your mic moments in one section, and then you could have stand up on another section as another part,
that's a good point.
Another folder.
Yeah. So I'm kind of trying to so how I'm spending my quarantine time. I'm trying to be more technical with YouTube videos and stuff. So I mean, Evan, I think I texted you once about asking you about how to do certain things because I'm trying to just be more hands-on with stuff,
Yeah. But, so you gotta. What were you asking? I'm trying to remember. What were you asking me about, or?
I was just asking you about how to I want to know how to put upload a video like you do for the Mike and Alex show. How you put a picture up there so people get it on YouTube,
Oh yeah. There's plenty of that.
But we can talk about that off air if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like more of an off-air conversation, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Alex. Are you sleeping? Sorry.
You bored me. I took a nap.
But yeah, so I mean, things have been going really well, obviously, up until the pandemic. I did my last show was March 11th, and people were already making Corona jokes, like Corona beer. It was like, okay, where are we? Then the next night, everything gets shut down. NBA, NHL, everything.
It's no joke.
No, it is. And when we come out of this thing, I know I'm going to have to sit through months of just those jokes. But, you have to kind of expect that. So,
yeah.
Long story short, I've been doing a lot of writing and just trying to do what you can from home, As I think we're all trying to figure that out. So.
Yeah. This is something new for all of us, so it's something that we're going to have to adapt and adjust to, adjust and learn to live with. I think it's the smart thing to do, and we're in a state that is really emphasizing us to limit not only physical social interactions, but large gatherings and even work situations. So I think, there's a lot of negative to that where, hey, look, I understand some people are on unemployment right now because of the fact, and I understand some people who are essential workers are burnt out because they're the only ones on the road and the only ones working.
Shout out to my brother at the grocery store.
Shout out to first responders, fast food workers.
Essential people, thank you.
Doctors, nurses, first responders, shout out to all of you guys because you guys are keeping people safe and keeping people going, so.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I've kind of always tried to find something positive in every situation, something to learn from, something to grow from. And for me, from what I see, is this is the first time in probably the technological era where you have everyone probably home at the same time.
That's what there's.
If you live with your parents, or if you live with your spouse and kids, and or you're a single parent with your kids, you're not going to have the time like you have now, where you're going to be with your kids. So take advantage of that. And that's the positive I see of this is the people that are living with somebody. take advantage of the time that you get to spend with each other, because you're not, once this goes, even if it goes remotely back to what it was before, you're not going to have these moments. So make some good memories with what you got now.
No, that's a good point. That's why I decided to come back to Holden to stay with my dad and brother, because it's like, you know what, I get this time to just have quality family time, you know? So it's like, might as well.
And I'm not saying this to be insensitive to what people are going through. It's quite the contrary. I sympathize with a lot of people who are struggling right now, but the fact that they, are either unemployed or, burnt out. But for me, I'm grateful for the fact that I don't have to be put at risk, being compromised. If I catch this, forget about it. I'm done.
Health is number one.
Health is number one, and being safe about it. But again, grateful for the people who are out there doing what they have to do. And, I'm hoping people can realize one, that you're not going to get an opportunity like this again to be with your friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That you're living with, because everyone's usually on a different schedule. Either the kids are in school or working or something, or you're working. So.
Well, people are finding that out too. People are finding out the other side. Couples that never stayed home together, also home together. There's been some incidences. It's like,
this is right after this wraps up. Divorce lawyers, they're probably going to make a killing.
No, you're right.
You got some. I think you just found your Corona joke material, Mike.
I will put that down, Alex Lopez. So. Yeah, but
there's another thing. There's another positive, and I know people are like, and I'm not like this granola, but when you look at what's happening to the earth right now, it's starting to heal. Like when you look at certain areas of the country that have mass concentrations of pollution, that's dwindled down.
They said just for the people. They said exactly, Alex. They said for the people not commuting. Because of not going to work right now, there is like a cut down huge on pollution. And so they think this may actually change how people work in the future. More people might just keep working from home.
Yeah, those poor fucking oil companies.
Oh, oil's down to like nothing. It's crazy.
Well, boo-hoo.
Yeah. Enjoy your
and like no, we're not going to go into these business bailouts and stuff where supposedly it was to help small businesses and only these giant corporations seem to be getting the bailouts. We're not going to go into that, guys.
No, we're not talking about that at all.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about how most of these companies have some sort of relationship with the current president either. We're not going to go into that. We're not.
No, President Trump. No,
of course not. No, this isn't a political podcast.
No,
we are an entertainment podcast. We are here to entertain.
We are granola, like Alex said.
We're as apolitical as any entertainer.
That's right.
So, that's basically what we've been up to and where we're at. And I have a feeling where we're at, who knows social distancing, how long this is going to last, but.
There'll be phases of it. There'll be different, I think eventually you'll be able to go into a hair salon again before you're able to go into a arena again.
Yeah, no, exactly. They'll be I
think I'm just going to shave my head.
Do it, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to shave my head and get it over with.
I'm doing the opposite. I'm seeing if I can grow it out a little bit just to curve it back and hide my bald spot, but eventually the sides and back I kind of want to
I've had short hair now for 3 years, and I've been liking it short, so I got to either trim it up, before I get some Ashton Kutcher thing going on here with the shag. But
Evan's reverse Michael Boltoning us.
Michael Bolt. I have been catching up on a lot of old stuff, YouTube stuff, like sitcoms for the 90s and stuff like that. It's funny how much time, how many shows you forgot about and you catch up on, when you have all this time.
I just found out that there's not to bring up Marvel. I just found out that there's a Nick Fury movie with David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury.
Yeah, that came out in '98.
I've yet to see it, but I must see it now.
It's not even like Mystery Science Theater material. It's just really bad.
That's why I want to see it.
It's got Hasselhoff.
I saw that as a teenager, and
it's the original Nick Fury.
I saw this movie. It was on Fox. I saw this movie.
Alex can see it in his head.
You can't. It's something that you're gonna be like, why did I watch this movie? It's not one of those horrible like. It's so bad it's funny. No, it's just bad.
My brother, I watched Saw for the first time.
Saw 1?
Saw 1, yeah, never saw it. It was
Saw 1 and 2 were great movies,
Yeah.
very creative. Because before Saw 3, where it just became a gore fest, and like, let's
I'm not
see
into gore
how
fest.
much blood we can put on a movie.
Torture porn.
The first two were actually very. It was violent, it was bloody, but it was more of a it was a mind thing.
It was a mind, yeah. The ending, especially if no one's ever seen it. So
Yeah, it's one of those things where it puts things in a mental perspective of what would you have to do to survive, kind of thing.
yes. Well, hopefully we don't get to that epidemic here, but
No,
this is
we
where
have
we're
a
at.
better chance of the purge happening than Saw happening.
Yeah, the purge date too was like late March when all this started to happen. People were like posting on Twitter like, "Look at this from the purge, like March 21st," and it was like the first day when it was like really getting bad. Like, oh jeez, it's gonna happen. But here we are. So, is there anything else we should talk about here, or should we wrap this thing up?
I think we wrapped this one up, and I think we're gonna probably
Stay
be doing.
tuned for we might we might do another one fairly soon.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good. I think it's good to hear each other. So this is good. So
yeah, this was long overdue.
Yep, long
It definitely was.
overdue, we started
So what is
talking
it?
about doing
Season
this a
1,
couple-
season 4, episode 1.
season 4, season 3.
So no, season 3 had a couple episodes I saw, and then that's when we kind of took our hiatus. So we're technically, because we did like the whole
Yep.
September to May thing, like TV. So we're technically at the end of season 4.
This is like BBC. This is BBC as far as the amount of episodes you're gonna get. So
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Good reference, Evan.
BBC. All right.
BBC.
So,
And next
Very
episode, we're probably gonna go a
be
little
safe.
more entertainment, album reviews, movie reviews, shows.
Concerts we saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically anything that we've been watching during the pandemic, and any recommendations. So stay tuned, guys.
Stay
All right, sounds
tuned.
good. Take it
All right.
easy.
So this is Evan,
This is Mike.
This is Alex.
and have a good one.
See ya.